My name is Dylan. I'm from New York, from the Dutchess, Westchester area, right outside the Bronx right now. We in Yonkers. But I feel overall pretty good. Mentally, a little tired. I use a little break. I got a vacation coming up soon. Physically, I could use a nap, but we are here. And as a man, I feel pretty good, pretty confident in myself because I got to get on my game. So I got to keep at it.
So we're gonna get into your childhood. How was your childhood in terms of environment in the house, in the school, and how did it affect you mentally?
Being in the house younger, I could pretty say, I didn't have the white picket fence, but it was pretty close. Everything was pretty cool. I had a two-parent household. Overall, upbringing was pretty good. Once in a while, families get into arguments and stuff like that. No house is perfect, and things happen. But I think that happens with every family. If you're with people a lot, you tend to have more arguments. And being in school, I was raised upstate in schooling mainly. So there's fairly lighter toned people up there more than me. So, you got to address that. You're a little bit more of like an elephant in the room at the same time, but, still be cool with everybody. But overall, it was pretty good. Nothing too much to complain about. I was left alone, no fights.
And in terms of in the house, were you allowed to express any emotions? Were you able to talk to anybody, your siblings, your parents, especially your father?
When it came to like sharing emotions and stuff like that in the house, I was told pretty much to, tell it how it is, express yourself a little bit to a certain degree, you can't go over the limit, you know what I mean? Otherwise you look crazy to people or even to your parents. And there's a respect line too, you gotta know when you in and out of line. But pretty much, yeah, I let my emotions, go out to a certain degree. But I don't consider myself a very emotional person, so.
A certain degree?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm more of a nonchalant person. Most people hear that and think negatively, but my emotions just don't take over me as much as maybe other people would. It's just how I am. Might be my upbringing and just how I am. And the job just sprinkled onto that too, which makes you that way a little bit more too. Being that you have to be a little bit more emotionalist when you do certain things on this job. Otherwise, you lose your mind.
That's true. So getting into the dad related stuff, was your father present in your life? Like, was he a man of the house or in the house?
No, son went to go get milk. No, I'm playing. So my dad was in the house, he taught us, the hustle lifestyle, being present in your kids' lives is very important to him. And my dad's the type of dad to work 4 jobs before we live on the street. So, you know what I mean? So that kind of passed down to me. So that's the type of person I am. But yeah, no, my dad was very open, emotionally. I would say my mom was a little bit more, but, he could talk to him about certain things if needed.
Did you notice any repetitive patterns that your father did that got passed down to you? Good and bad.
I did notice good and bad things that were passed down to me. Like I'll name a couple. For like good things from my dad is the hustle lifestyle. Like it helps you, stay motivated and get what you need to get. That's something that I took on full on, and I'm not big in, being a slacker, as well as being responsible and reliable. Those 2 things too, my dad is very good at. Like you say, yo, you need me, I got you, the most I could do. You know what I mean? You got me, I got you. And it's turning this like bad type of thing. My dad seems to, think of himself sometimes a little bit higher than other people. You know what I mean? Maybe like a type of narcissism. Yeah, maybe a type of narcissism or anything like that. But it does come out once in a while. And I tend to see that I do that sometimes when it comes to certain things. So I have to kind of like humble myself, beat myself on the back a little bit. As well as sometimes my dad is not the best at expressing his emotions, especially when it comes to a relationship with somebody, be close. So sometimes I have to like kick myself a little bit to be like, all right, well, get out there a little bit more because they don't know what you're thinking or what you're feeling because you're not saying anything. Because I'm the type of person to just eat it and just be like, all right, I'm all right. I'll just go chill for 10 minutes. I'll come back and I'll be all right. But sometimes it's worth talking about.
So do you feel like he swept some things under the rug, or?
Nah, not necessarily swept it under the rug. It's just certain things. Either he'll let it bother him and he'll get upset about it and blow up because he has a temper. Did not get passed down to me. But sometimes he'll just take a situation and be like, all right, bet, and then cut somebody off and just move on, and that's it. And sometimes I'm like that, which could be a good and a bad thing. So
depending on the situation, yeah. So would you feel comfortable talking to your dad about your mental health, or at least a father figure like your uncle maybe?
I would talk to my dad about my mental health to a certain degree. I do feel like there are certain things that I probably would have to hold a little bit back if I had like dangerous really thoughts, being that I'm on the job. A lot of people do kill themselves because of the stuff that we see every day. I don't think I would be one of those people personally, not to knock those people, but I don't feel like he was the first person I would run to if I had like thoughts like that, just because I don't know if it might be like a man-to-man type of thing and you just look a little bit weak. So, just, I don't know, maybe a little bit stereotypical with the world. It just wouldn't be my first go-to necessarily.
Okay, so based on your childhood with your father, would you see yourself as a dad?
I definitely can see myself as a dad in about 9 months. Nah, imagine. But yeah, I can definitely see myself as a dad. I'm going to take all the good qualities and pass those on and do my best to knock the bad ones. You can only do so much. Every generation is supposed to get better. That's the goal, at least in my opinion. So that would be my goal. I could definitely see myself having a little stack.
So we're gonna enter adulthood. What are some habits that you've done that hurt people without recognizing it as like a trauma response, trauma reflex, and that goes for your loved ones? And like, what's a core memory that like stuck out to you and changed your perspective?
A couple things that I've done that necessarily hurt people that I've seen. Sometimes having that lack of emotion. Sometimes people want you to express yourself, and they feel more validated when you tell them how you feel. I feel like that's like one of the main things people look for. But being that sometimes I hold that back or I just fail to do it, sometimes people get offended or they feel like I'm holding out on them, or they just feel straight up like offended because they think I do it on purpose. And sometimes it just happens because that's just me. What was the other question?
A core memory that sticks out to you that changed your perspective entering adulthood, going to your 20s.
A core memory that stuck with me throughout my life. I don't know. I like, my whole life is a memory in my opinion. I look over everything and I just, little by little, as I enter new stages, I just start remembering a whole bunch of almost every moment in my life, just how it got me here. It's kind of like a continuous movie.
So you analyze more or less?
Yeah. Hopefully I learn from the last mistakes and then, it's like everything is a movie.
So do you feel like you're in survivor mode most of the time, all the time, maybe some of the time?
Just being me. I don't think I'm in survival mode necessarily. I mean, when I clock in, yeah. But outside, being me, I don't feel like a survivor type of thing. I just feel like just a God-fearing man.
Okay, so what have you struggled with in the past that you are still struggling with? Any challenges?
Any challenges I'm still struggling with? I don't necessarily think I have something that comes to mind for that I'm struggling with, that I'm still, a challenge. I guess the biggest challenge is being more like God. That is the biggest challenge.
Amen. So do you think there's anything taking up your headspace?
Taking up my headspace is just life in general. Life just throws everything at you. Bills, even just, having a girlfriend, having a job, having a crib. Everything comes with plus, minus, and stuff you gotta deal with and move on with it. You gotta take it and bear the load. Just like getting a TV, you gotta deal with paying the electricity and all that. So that's how it goes.
Okay, so when was the last time you felt heard or seen by somebody?
Last time I felt heard or seen by somebody. Me personally, last time I felt seen by somebody was when I got this new position at my job yesterday, and I told my girlfriend about it, and she could only speak for like 2 minutes because she was on her way to work. But I was really excited about it. She was the first person I wanted to tell. So I told her, and I just felt seen, and it just validated my feelings because I don't really get hyped for stuff. So the fact that I was hyped and she got hyped with me, kind of, did something for me.
So someone that's just there for you.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
So what are some habits that you are letting go of, or at least trying to let go of? Like, are there any beliefs about yourself that you are like limiting yourself and your future goals?
In future goals, things that I'm trying to do. I can't go back to the old answer, the same, be more like God, I feel like being less like everybody else, less worldly, less doing other things that other people do and sticking out. I like to stick out and do my own thing. That's like a big goal of mine. So in every decision I make, if it's gonna help me stand out and look more dynamic, I usually try to jump towards it if it's a possible goal.
Okay, so do you have like a network of people who support you through your challenges?
Yeah, I got a network of people, good people that I could talk to, let them know, bounce ideas off of them. I can inspire them. Maybe they can inspire me with certain things, what they're doing in their life, what I'm doing. You got to have a good web. I talk to a good amount of people on the job, off the job, coworkers, friends, even like family, one of them behind the camera.
Amen to that. So have you gone to therapy yourself?
Therapy? Who's asking? Nah, I've never been to therapy myself. I do not knock therapy for anybody. Therapy is probably a very essential thing. And I thought about trying it, especially with my line of profession, just like going to the gym is good, every once in a while, see what you could do, Seeing where you're at mentally is just as important because mentally can turn physically as well as spiritually and everything like that. So being, seeing those type of people, I think it definitely could help you. I've never seen it. I thought about maybe doing it, but it could potentially be a good thing.
Potentially be a good thing. So would you recommend it to other people?
I would recommend it. If you've thought about it, then maybe you should just try it out because you could always not go again. So why not? It's like going to the gym. You don't like going to the gym? Hey, sit at home and just watch TV. Do what you got to do.
Okay, and I don't want no vague answer when I ask this question. Do you feel safe in the world today and why? In terms of modern times.
I feel like I got a big answer for this. Do I feel safe in this world today? I want to say, if I had a short answer, no. Long answer is, to be honest, I don't fear anything because no weapon formed, if you know what I mean. But, being that more things in this world are built against you and you have to see that a lot, it kind of makes you feel a certain way, especially with politics and just violence out there, especially like in the city or more urban areas. And there's people out there to get you, and all these spirits out there out to get you, negative people out there out to get you. And the fact that you can walk out the street and not come back the next day, that being a possibility is crazy. In a world where there's any negativity, you can't be 100% safe, even if, the cops and stuff like that is out there. And being on the law enforcement aspect, as soon as I clock in, I feel like a target. So, I can't really necessarily ever feel safe. You got to look out for yours. But, at the end of the day, I know I am safe. But do I always feel safe? Not necessarily. Put it like that.
Okay, so what are some personal goals you would like to focus on to improve your mental health?
Personal goals that I want to do to improve my mental health. I guess start a little, talk to people, talk to friends, talk to family. Let people know how you're feeling and address those issues if they do get bigger than you feel like they should be. But yeah, maybe I'll even try talking to a professional person one day, see what that's like. But read your Bibles and keep a good level-headed mindset.
So what are some self-care stuff that you do? Like, personal hygiene. Are you sleeping well, drinking enough water? Are you working out? You reading your Bible?
All those things are essential. I fell off with reading my Bible a little bit. I got to get back onto it, but I recommend 5 out of 5. Great artist. But Yeah, no, definitely get your 8 hours, or at least 7 to 8 hours is good, recommended for most people. Sleep helps you focus and lock in when you need to. Drink your water, because that leads to other problems if you don't drink your water. Um, and Yeah, no, if you're young enough, stay in school, or stay at a job that makes you happy and still helps you live the lifestyle that you want to. Those two things combined are important, so you can successfully live and strive.
Okay, and what is something you're looking forward to about the future? Like personal goals, professional goals?
I guess one of my goals is getting my own spot, and I just signed my lease, so that's kind of completed. Check.
Come on now.
Yeah, but besides that, I don't know what's up next. Only God knows. I got another little temporary reassignment from my job too, so in the last year, I got like a new girlfriend, new car, new crib, and new experiences at work. So stuff is going good. So hopefully I stay locked in and nothing happens to me.
Blessings on blessings on blessings. So what advice would you give to your younger self?
My younger self, if you're watching this, stay devoted. Keep doing what you're doing, because everything that's meant to happen will happen. And if you want it, you can get it. Just make it happen. Nobody's holding you back. You're your biggest enemy. When you look in the mirror, the number one person that's holding yourself back. Whether it be, that job, they don't want you because you're a different color than they wanted, or that boss don't like the way you do this or that, whatever. Nothing starts until you do. So yeah, get out that bed, go out there and do something in your life, because time waits for no one.
Now, what are some of the biggest obstacles that you notice the men community is facing today with mental health or anything in general? And does social media play a role in that too?
Men's mental health these days, a lot of times, is neglected. And it's kind of looked down upon when you try to talk about it sometimes. That might be why it is what it is. Women are definitely a lot more comfortable expressing themselves, and people are not necessarily going to knock them for it because, oh, it's a girl, she got to say how she feels, they're seen as more emotional. But sometimes when a man opens up, it's like, oh, whoa, all right, he's being a B word or this or that, you know what I mean? So sometimes people neglect, how you're supposed to be feeling because you don't want to express yourself, so they hold it in, or maybe they just talk by themselves and they just hold it in when they need to express that, they need to share that, they need to talk to somebody because they can potentially hurt themselves or somebody else, or just think a lot of dark thoughts and lead them down maybe even a sinful path. So they need that help.
Okay, so what do you think, what should we do more as a community for men's mental health? Have a space for it and whatnot?
As a community, for men's health, number one, address that it's a real thing and let people know that there's nothing wrong with sharing how you feel. Be that one more person to when a guy opens up to you, be like, you know what? Nah, I get you. I feel you. Let them talk to you, talk back to them, help them feel good. Maybe they encourage another person, and people will, keep the chain going, like a pass along in the drive-thru when you pay for the person behind you. But yeah, even other things like social media posts, posting something that's positive, or just telling somebody something positive, passing on good energy and letting everybody just be themselves and helping that message grow.
So do you think the cycle of men being vulnerable will break?
I think the cycle, honestly, with men being vulnerable will probably not break in my lifetime 100%, because it's just at a point right now where it's like basically almost not impossible, but like it is definitely looked down upon to be like, yo, I feel like this. Oh, what the, it makes you look weird. And I don't see that changing anytime soon, but I could be wrong. But hopefully it gets to a point where you can.
Okay, now last question. What is something you want everyone that's watching to know about men's mental health? Like, what's the most important word would you describe?
Number one for men's mental health, it matters. That's why we need stuff like this, and we need more documentaries. We need movies, anything that can showcase men's mental health mattering, because it's out there, it's real, and it's just like women's. So we should be side by side,
Amen. And last words you would like to tell people?
Nah, stay in school, kids, you know. And we'll see you on the next one.